Hello, I'm Amy Blaylock. Welcome to City Hall this week. There is encouraging news to report on the state of Durham's economy.
I would say that the economy is headed in the right direction, albeit slowly in some areas.
That was the message delivered to hundreds of Durham residents, business owners, and employees who attended the 2012 State of Durham's Economy breakfast on June 6th. Office of Economic and Workforce Development Director Kevin Dick says Durham's economy hinges on its population, which is continuing to diversify and to grow.
The diverse population can help the economy a lot because what it does is expand the diversity of goods and services that are demanded by the public, and that makes it possible for different types of businesses to thrive, new entrepreneurial ventures, other small business development that may not be as have goods and services that are as vital in some areas as one like Durham that has so many different ages, races, age groups, and so forth.
The next primary factor for a thriving economy is making sure that as many people as possible are employed.
We are seeing employment growth. So we are seeing with the expansions and with some new businesses opening, the net new job growth is trickling up, but again, slowly. What we think we're seeing is that businesses are expanding a bit more conservatively than they had in the past. So just access to capital is not quite as great, and businesses are expanding just a little bit more slowly. So we're seeing some employment growth, but not really robust at this point.
More than 2,300 new jobs were created in Durham in 2011, with the largest gains being in the professional, scientific, and technical services industries. Another important element for economic growth is the impact visitors have on Durham every year.
So visitors had a great impact on our local economy. One key reason and key cause of this of the visits and visitor impact was the Durham Performing Arts Center. The DPAC had another great year. Basically over the last 3 years, it's been the 11th highest grossing U.S. theater, then the 9th. In 2011, it was the 4th. So it is really just growing by leaps and bounds, bringing a lot of visitors here. And then, the Durham Bulls, another great attraction. We're having, more and more restaurants are starting to crop up. And so, things like these attractions are really bringing visitors to Durham and helping local merchants in the process.
Of course, all the news coming out of the presentation wasn't so rosy. Durham's average home price is down from what it has been over the past 4 years. Good for buyers, but not for sellers.
In 2011, the home prices actually had been considerably lower than they were in previous years. And so this indicates both a positive and negative. The positive is that now with there being corporate expansions and there being new jobs available, as well as the fact that more people are finding Durham to be a vibrant community, that means that this may contribute to population growth because more people will buy houses because houses will be competitively priced. On the negative side, this also means that demand for homes is down, which means that sellers are having a more difficult time selling, and that could pose all types of economic issues as well. So we're seeing a trend that reflects both positively and negatively on the local economy.
For more information on how Durham's economy is faring these days, visit stateofdurhameconomy.org. The Durham Workforce Development Board is continuing to do its part in fostering a strong economic climate. The City Council received a presentation on the board's 2011 annual report during its May 24th work session. The board had several primary goals for the past year, the first of which focused on providing a high level of satisfaction to both businesses and job seekers.
The board had decided in 2010 to open a new job link center at Northgate Mall, and that was in light of the increased demand of services for job link employment and training services. In doing such, in June of 2011, we officially opened the doors to the public, and over the course of the last year, we've been able to see approximately 3,000 individuals with 800 new registrants who have walked through the doors at the Northgate Mall. And those services are everything from expedited job referrals, as well as getting more information about the employment and training services available to Durham residents. Simultaneously, we also did, as part of that initiative, was to create what we call Employer Fridays at the Northgate Job Link, to essentially have direct recruitment events for businesses looking to hire Durham residents.
The second goal centered around increasing the impact of the Workforce Development Board in the community.
In 2011, we had a three-day career conference or career expo that was in partnership with Fox 50, as well as with the Durham Job Link. And essentially what it was working with Durham job seekers for 2 days on kind of interview prep and helping them kind of prepare for an actual job fair. And on the third day, it culminated into a job fair where we had over 30 businesses recruiting for over 300 positions. And we had over 700 attendees over that three-day conference. That was a direct impact with support from Capital Broadcasting Corporation. As well as recently with the Durham Job Link, we have just brought on a recruiter who works for Duke University and Health System to help do direct recruiting opportunities for open positions at Duke every Thursday at the Durham Job Link at Northgate.
And the third goal was leveraging the board's existing resources by integrating into the greater continuum of services within the community.
As resources were becoming tighter over the past 2 years, we had to be more efficient and more effective with the types of services that we were providing. So not only kind of going in it alone as a workforce board, but to look at the continuum of resources that exist in the community to help really strengthen the outcomes of our participants. So for example, if we have a young parent training program that we operated, we had a green construction job training program for young parents throughout 2010 and 2011. We worked with different providers within the community, from the Durham Housing Authority to working with a family support entity under the Duke Center for Healthy Children and Family, to working with the Durham Youth Chamber of Commerce and the Sales and Service Training Center to really provide a comprehensive approach in the programs that we are implementing, or we were implementing, to have the greatest outcome for our participants.
Some of the goals for the coming year include workforce development initiatives that support a well-balanced and diverse economy, to close the skills gap for low-income disconnected youth, and to make sure the Job Link technology is efficiently matching job seekers with potential employers. It appears the city is on track to end the year within its set budget. The third quarter financial report shows that all departments, except for one, will end the year within their approved spending levels. Departments are expected to spend $1 million less than budgeted, with an overage in personnel cost of $0.8 million being more than offset by savings in operating cost. Two of the major sources of revenue for the city, property and sales taxes, are up for the third quarter over the same period of time last year. The report points to these and other numbers as evidence of continued slow growth that offers an optimistic outlook for the city at a measured pace. Of course, Durham's leaders are taking all of these numbers into account as they finalize plans for next year's budget. Find out how the proposed spending plan could affect you when City Hall This Week continues.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome back. The City Council is considering the input offered by many of you as it decides whether to approve the administration's proposed 2012-2013 budget. A public hearing was held on June 4th to give anyone a chance to offer their feedback on the proposed $372 million spending plan. The proposed budget includes a property tax increase of 1 cent per $100 of assessed property value. That would mean an annual tax increase of $15 for the owner of a $150,000 home. The additional money raised would go toward a dedicated fund for affordable housing initiatives. There are also water, sewer, and stormwater rate increases built into the proposed budget. Customers would pay, on average, about $1.26 more per month for water and sewer volume and service charges, as well as an average $5.40 more per year for stormwater rates. The water and sewer increases would support operational and maintenance needs. The stormwater fee increase would go toward major capital projects associated with the Falls and Jordan Lake rules. A final vote on the budget is set for June 18th. Landlords wanting to manage their properties better and stop illegal activity are encouraged to attend a training that's being sponsored by the city. The workshop will be held on Thursday, June 21st from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. It will be held in the main conference room at the Neighborhood Improvement Services Department at 807 East Main Street in the Golden Belt Complex. The workshop will demonstrate effective management practices as well as provide successful techniques for stopping illegal activity on rental properties. The workshop costs $10 and pre-registration is required by June 14th. To find out more, visit the city's website. Which city services have residents the most satisfied? We'll take a look when City Hall This Week continues. Welcome back. If excellent fire protection and outstanding rescue services are important to you, then Durham is apparently the place for you. That feedback stems from the 2011 Resident Satisfaction Survey and is the focus of this week's What Durham is Saying. Yet again, fire protection and rescue services showed the highest level of satisfaction among the services provided by the city. Among those who responded to the survey, 85% said they were happy with those services.
We think a large part of it is because of the type of service that we try to provide, our customer service. We embrace that as a part of our organizational culture. People generally see firefighters and fire service as the heroes, the people that you call in times of emergencies. They view us as the people who will run into a burning house to save a child or save a person or even save a cat or a dog. So they see us in a lot of instances as that type of individual, which we are.
Another factor seems to be the locations of the fire stations, with 85% of the survey respondents saying they are satisfied with their proximity. An area in which upgrades continue to be made so the fire department can offer an appropriate level of service to all Durham residents.
We currently use software that actually can tie into the CAD system over at the Emergency 911 Center, and this software can actually plot call volume, call frequency, and call type, and things of this nature, and even travel distances. And it can tell us, based on these type of criteria, where our next station actually needs to be placed.
Despite such significant steps forward and this encouraging response from residents, fire officials say they will continue to work to improve fire and rescue services in Durham.
We became accredited in August of 2011, and part of that accreditation, we had to embrace the concept of continuous process improvement or continuous organizational improvement. That means that we go back and we look at all of our processes, all of our guidelines, policies, procedures, our operations, and we continually monitor. We look at all of these different things, and we look for better ways to actually do these things. In addition to that, we've recently revised our strategic plan, our department strategic plan, which now aligns with the citywide strategic plan.
Progress that the city hopes to build upon across all service areas. Find out how your Parks and Recreation Department ranks among resident satisfaction and where improvements are being made in our next What Durham is Saying segment. That does it for this edition of City Hall This Week. Don't forget to like us on our new Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. Those links are listed on your screen and can also be found on the Public Affairs homepage on the city's website. And of course, you can still find us on demand on the DTV8 webpage and the city's YouTube channel. I'm Amy Blaylock. Thank you for joining us.